Hi.
All right, good start. Okay, so
Alright.
in this video, it's going to be me therapizing Amanda's problem. Take one.
I love my word.
I've
Therapizing. It's amazing.
used it every single session so far.
Alright. So, I think, I don't even remember what my problems were the last two times, but I'm pretty sure they're all similar.
Do you want me to remind you?
Kind of.
Okay, so in the first video, the problem was your confidence in your field placement, things that you're struggling with, just, basic first semester social work problems. And then in the second video, it was about trying to take more you time, trying to, kind of separate your Amandas.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
My hats.
Yeah, all of your hats.
So about that, absolutely nothing has changed.
That's what I like to hear.
And it's no fault of your own. I think one thing though that has changed is that I'm like much more aware of it, but I don't know how helpful that is, and it's because just because I'm more aware of it doesn't mean my behavior has necessarily changed. So it's like maybe even more aggravating.
Why would you say it's more aggravating?
Because I'm more aware that I'm doing it than I was before.
And you keep
and
doing
I
it.
keep doing it, yes. And it's like, what the,
I understand that.
yeah, and it's like, I don't know. I think because I haven't made any changes, which is totally my fault, that it might be even getting worse. Like, I think since the last video, like, I had a really bad fight with my mom, and it's been, like, years since we had a fight like that, and it was like, I don't know, I just feel like I have, like, communication problems with, like, people in my life, like Ted and my mom. And, like, in my internship, I don't really like the other intern that much. And, like, I haven't been sure really how I felt about her. But lately, I've confirmed that I don't really like her that much. And, like, she's just done some, like, sketchy things. And, like, she'll admit to things, like, after the fact. Like, we were talking about, like, if it's okay to, like, touch the kids one time. Like, just, like, hugging or, like, just, like, this or, like, any type of touching. And, like, my boss, like, gave her answer and whatever. And then the other girl was like, oh, yeah, well, like, last week this thing happened. And, like, I did this. And I wasn't sure if it was, like, okay or not. But it's like, okay, so that happened like a week ago, and you're not going to bring it up until we're already talking about it? I don't know, it's just like sketchy to me. It's probably not that big of a deal, but and then we have to like do these videos and stuff, and she hasn't really been working with me a lot. I've been doing it like all on my own, because she literally just acts like she doesn't have time, and she doesn't like agree with the whole thing, which is like, okay, but our boss is asking us to do this, so like you kind of have to.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, we're both adults. Like, I'm not going to chase you down to do this with me, so I'll just do it myself.
Yeah.
So I've been, like, emailing my boss, like, videos and questions and stuff to show the kids. And then she, like, had a meeting with us this week, and she was like, I don't want this to be, like, a one-person effort. So she was, like, basically, like, advocating for me to the other intern. And then she was like, well, I don't, like, it's just that my caseload and I don't have time and blah, blah, blah. But our caseloads are exactly the same. Mm-hmm. Like, we both have 11 kids. So, like, why do I have the time for it and you don't?
Is she also a social work intern?
Yeah.
Okay.
At UConn. Mm-hmm. And then, like, even in the meeting that we were having, I was trying to say my idea. And, like, my next phrase, like, I was saying, like, well, we can do it this way, but, and I said, like, but, and I was going to say it would be a lot of teacher buy-in. And I said, but, and she literally cut in, and she was like, but it would require a lot of teacher buy-in. And, like, I'm not the best person at hiding and, like, keeping, like, this blank thing. So I was, like, so pissed inside, and then I was like, well, I was gonna say, like, it would take a lot of teacher buy-in. So then after, I'm like, oh, well, you probably just look like a bitch, Amanda, because you just, like, got mad that she did that. But at the same time, like, yeah, like, hop off. Mm-hmm. Like, can I finish my statement? Like, you're not better than me. Like, I get that feeling that she thinks that she's better than me. And I don't know if it's just, like, because clearly I have spoken in the past about having confidence issues. So I don't know if I'm just like creating this whole thing in my head or if it's like real. But then she even apologized to me after the meeting.
Okay.
So if she felt the need to apologize to me, I don't know. Like it could still go either way. That like either I was just like clearly angry that she cut me off in the meeting and she apologized, or that she has, because she's been acting like different lately. Like we used to work together a lot and like we don't, and it's like whatever, like I'm not gonna chase you down, like I don't know. So
at the time where she did
I just threw that all at you.
No, that was like a solid 5 minutes of you just talking. Thank you. So at the time of the apology, how did it feel when she did ask you that, or when she did apologize?
So like I said, it's been going on for like a while, and then like I've never like said anything or addressed it at all. And even though me saying like, oh, I was just gonna say that was like an indirect way of addressing it, like just it must have been like the way that I did it, like kind of like made her realize like, can we like not do whatever this is happening between us, right? And she was so she was like, I'm sorry if I've just been like all over the place lately, but I just got this new job. And like I'm like, okay, well congratulations, like are you done? Like I don't want to hear this kind of.
Is there a way you could like discuss with your teacher, or not with your teacher, oh my lord, with your supervisor, if this could be an independent thing, or if...
Well, like, she wants us to work on it together, which is fine. Like, I've never had problems working with people before, but, like, I don't know, this girl, it is challenging, and it's, like, and it's something that we clearly have to learn, like, well,
difficult people,
yeah, exactly, yeah. But, and it's just, like, I don't know, like, it's, like, a fundamental thing, too, like, I feel, like, crazy even saying this, it sounds so stupid, but, like, she was the captain of the cheerleading team growing up. Like, her parents are, like, rich, and they gave her everything. So she just, like, lived this super entitled life. And, like, sometimes I just don't agree with, like, the way that she talks about the students. It's, like, she's, like, condescending. And, like, she just has, like, this air about her that she's just, like, Little Miss Perfect here to save the day. And it's, like, it just bothers me.
Do you think that's something that you could discuss with her? Why it bothers you?
With her?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, then, can you discuss with me why it bothers you?
Yeah, because it's like, dude, you're not better than anybody. Like, I feel like she thinks that she's better than people.
Okay.
Like, she just, like, comes across that way, and it just bothers me. And then, so, like, after that, like, I did feel good, though, when she apologized. So it's like, oh, like, I'm not envisioning that there's, like, been a disconnect between us lately. Like, okay, so it was, like, validated. But I didn't feel like her apology was very genuine. I just felt like she felt like she needed to because because we had, like, that weird, uncomfortable interaction during the meeting. So it was just, like, something that, like, I have to, I don't know, work on, I guess. Because it's, like, we get along. But it's like, we're not working together. And like, so my boss wants us to do all these things where we have like a meme contest for the students, like these preventative videos and I don't want to use my time looking up videos and questions and doing all this stuff. Like I'd rather be in sessions talking to kids. Yeah. And that's how she feels too, but she feels like that so much that she just won't even do it.
Oh, okay.
But then it's like, well, it has to get done. Yeah. So then I'm picking up the slack and doing it. So that's probably like another part of it too, that like, I don't know how I say, like, I don't want to chase her down to do it, but at the same time, I don't want to do it by myself. Okay. So that's, like, I feel like I'm always stuck in these, like, like, these, I don't know what you call it, like, these contradictory
so
situations.
With the session and your discussion, is your focus just your, I almost want to say aggression towards this other girl, or is... I want to make sure we're on the same page with this.
What we're talking about right now?
I want to know what your feel is on what you want. Yeah. I want to know what your feel is on what you want to focus on. So is it her and how to kind of handle working with difficult people?
I think it's just like people in general. Like I'm having like problems lately, like communicating how I think and how I feel, and like I'm not advocating for myself. Yeah, center bubble stuff.
So you're constantly circulating around like stressors and problems.
Yeah, yeah, because it's been like it's like a common theme. Like when I think about it, like, well, me and my mom arguing was because I was like trying to help her in a situation, and she was like, "Oh, you don't know everything," and I was like, "Okay," and Ted, I just don't like telling him how I feel about anything. And then that girl's the same thing. Like, I just don't tell her how I feel. But, like, it's different with her. It's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like that's a weird thing to do. Like, hey, I feel like there's tension between us. Like, I guess it's not that weird, but I just don't want to do it, I guess.
Why?
Because I just don't want to deal with it.
Would this be something, though, that you want to try and work a little bit harder on for people like Ted and your mom?
Yeah, like people in my personal life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So where this is just, she's a difficult client, or not a client, a difficult, oh my lord. She's a difficult person. She's only a coworker at this point.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, for your mom and Ted, that's a lot more personal. You do want to,
like, I'm invested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess that's a good thing to look at. Understanding who you want to work a little bit harder on with communication. Because I know in our last session you briefly discussed how you've been trying a little bit harder to be more direct with people. Mm-hmm. And I think your example was people at work. So if there was something that was upsetting you, you would talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Instead of letting that miscommunication float in the air.
Yeah. I think I just, like, internalize all these things, and then I carry them, and then they come out when they shouldn't.
Okay. So, do you think it might be a little bit... I'm trying to play a low card. Oh my gosh. So how do you think...
So how do I think?
How do you think you could work on this issue? Is there certain steps you could take that would make it so your communication was a little bit better with people in your personal life?
Yeah. Like, I swear it's, like, all tied together. Like, I have this flaw where, like, I don't have a lot of confidence. And, like, so, like, we've talked about this. Like, me and you, me and Kim, like, we all talk about these things and, like, how they all relate. So, like, if you, like, feel like you're not very confident in yourself, then you feel like your thoughts and your feelings might not be, like, warranted. So then speaking on those and acting on them, it's like you almost feel like you're wrong even before you even do it. So it's like I gotta, like, own it and, like, no, like, you're not wrong to feel this way and, like, address it.
Yeah.
It's very simple, but I just don't do it. I don't know why. And maybe I don't like confrontation. Maybe I just want to be the nice person all the time.
Okay. Well, no, I think that's a really, really valid point. I know myself, I feel that way sometimes as well. It's easier just not to let people know that there's an issue out of fear of creating a bigger issue.
Yeah.
That's something that I struggle with myself a lot. Full disclosure. But... Tip one. But it's definitely, I think over time, especially with going through our classes, that it's going to get a little bit easier. Hopefully.
Yeah.
But...
Because I'm, like, really only hurting myself in the end, is what it boils down to. Because I'm walking around, like, mad, and nobody even knows why, Well, because I'm not telling them why. It's, like, it's, like, ridiculous, but I don't know why I just can't advocate for myself, I guess.
Okay. So I know before we started the video, you discussed how you want to work a little bit harder on advocating for yourself. You just mentioned it again there. So do you think that also relates back to your coworker? So she's clearly not putting in her time, her effort, but you're now doing double the work.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Do you...
But you know what it is, though? She'll, like, always just discredit what I'm saying. Even, like, before I get the whole thing out, like that one sentence. But, like, when we're looking up videos and stuff together, we're like, oh, this one's, like, okay. She's like, yeah, but. It's, like, it's so annoying.
There was...
how do I say that? Like, oh, stop discrediting me? Like, how do you say that to somebody?
So at my internship, we went through this training on nonverbal communication. And one of the things that it talked about was that there's certain words that ultimately are going to create issues when you're talking. And but was one of them. Things like, however, what was some of the other ones? Oh my gosh, look at you, the pamphlet on it.
I would love it.
But it automatically takes whatever the person said and erases it. So but
so true,
is an eraser. A quote that the other intern at my internship said was, nobody wants a butt in their face. So I thought that was a really, really great phrase. So when you're saying something like, oh, this is great, but it automatically erases the fact that that was great. It takes the but, and it takes whatever is after the but, and makes that the main focus.
I'm sorry. No. You know what else, like, happened, too, is, like, so I picked one video, and she was like, it's okay, but the language in it, it's like, it might be beyond the student's level of comprehension. And we're working with 7th, 12th graders, but, so I was like, alright, maybe. But then she, like, stopped working on it with me, so we had to, like, email my supervisor the videos and questions for, like, for December.
Yeah.
So I just did it anyway. I picked my video, and I made questions for it, and I sent it to her, and my boss was like, oh, no, this is great, I really like it. And I'm like, okay. So now I'm, like, validated a little. But, like, as much as that helped me, it kind of just made me even more, like, well, I'm not going to work with you then. Like, because you just shot down my idea, but our boss liked it. But then it's like, maybe it's me. Like, why am I even listening to you then? The other intern.
Yeah.
Not you.
Okay.
Right? Like, doesn't that make sense?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of things that aren't advice or any of that.
But it's like, I just read something today that's like, don't let, not other people dictate you, but something along those lines. And it's so true. Like, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I think it all boils down to confidence. Like, why am I not confident in myself is the question that I need to ask. And I kind of, like, know the answer. And I think it, like, goes back to, like, my history of being in, like, that, like, abusive relationship where it's like I'm only 26. That was 9 years of my life. So that's a good amount. Yeah. So I think it's, like, hard to, like, break that. And it was from, like, the time when you're developing so rapidly. Yeah. From, like, 14 to 23. Like, you do so much, like, growing. Yeah. In those years. So to always, like, have that, like, belittlement on me constantly is, like, I need to, like, just cut it out. And, like...
Well, what do you think your steps would have to be to possibly change that?
I don't know.
Because I know that's going to be a very tricky thing to change, because now it probably feels like that's a part of who you are.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But if there's something that you're interested in changing, I mean, we learned in class, it needs to be you who takes the first steps to do that.
Right.
And
I know. I've been looking up, like, therapists to go see, though, like I said. Because I feel like that's where I'm at right now. Because, like, it's affecting me in all ways. And it's been obviously on my mind a lot lately. Are we at 15?
Oh, yeah, no, we're at 20.
I don't know. So, yeah, I think that's what it is. I think it's confidence, just, like, rearing its head in everything.
Okay.
So I think that's what I would have to do. Talk to someone about it. That would be my step.
Well, you always have me in these videos.
And this is our last one. We both just got, like, so deep on each other.
I know. I liked it. Well, and that's, I hope that this was okay with you and that everything.
It was.
because I don't want you to ever feel like, you know, I'm asking questions that, you know, are steering you in the wrong direction or anything like that.
Same.
But
It was good. I feel like we've both gotten so much better.
yeah.
Since the first video, clearly, because we
my
just
gosh.
like talked about some serious stuff.
Oh my gosh,
today.
puppy. Do you want to say hi in my video as well? Yeah.
Oh, he almost did it.
Okay, puppy, how are
Okay.
you feeling? You doing good?
All right, bye, Cameron.
I guess this is goodbye. See you.
Ooh.